Hello Year 9 and welcome to your feedback video for this week. As you may remember, as part of your remote learning, I will be providing weekly feedback on the work that you complete in the previous week. And this feedback focuses on the knowledge you covered last week up until this Monday, focusing on that quiz you completed on Monday. Okay, so the work you completed between the 13th and the 18th of January. So first of all, I just wanted to celebrate our successes by looking at the quiz scores. Our average score was 73%, which is quite good. All right, generally we aim for around 80%. All right, to show that we fully understand a topic in things such as this. But I thought, considering the circumstances, 73% was a really admirable score. So I wanted to share it. And some of the strengths you guys demonstrated in the work you completed were your awareness of coordinating conjunctions and also your definition of the adjective gaunt. That was a really strong one across the board. So well done there, okay? I am now going to go through the answers in a bit more detail by looking at the quiz itself. Okay, so I've now popped the quiz on the screen. I'm going to scroll down and we're going to have a look at each of the questions individually, okay? So that you're aware of what questions you got right and wrong. So question 1 was, what was the name of the American state that inspired the theme of your writing? That was Kansas, okay, with those fields and hay and whatnot. Number 2, what structure did the extract follow? It was a panoramic description, absolutely, but it went panoramic description, zoom in on detail, and then a shift to character, okay? It went in that order, the way that you structured your piece of writing. So well done if you got that correct. If you didn't, please make a note of that. All right. Number 3, what does the word panoramic means? It means a sweeping wide description is the correct answer there. If you've ever seen like panoramic shots, it's always like really widescreen images, okay, of certain places. Normally of, you know, places that are really nice to look at and things like that. So if that's one that you got wrong, please make a note of that. Number 4, what does the adjective gaunt mean? Like I said, the majority of us got this right there. It means lean and haggard. Okay, sort of tired out. They're looking, yeah, looking like they've had a hard time kind of thing. So lean and haggard would be your correct definition of gaunt. Number 5, which sentence uses the adjective melancholy correctly? And it was the first one here. With the closure of the banks and businesses, the forgotten town slid into a melancholy state. Okay, melancholy is a negative word. So we're associating it with a negative event that's occurring there. Number 6, what type of sentence begins with a verb and ends with a full stop? The correct answer here is a command. Okay, a command sentence. And I'll look at that in more detail when I go through the rest of the PowerPoint. Number 7, what type of sentence would be used to offer information and description? The correct answer there is statement. So well done those of you who got that correct. If you didn't, make a note of it. Okay, it's just a general sentence. Your everyday, you know, basic sentence is a statement. Number 8, which sentence uses the appositive correctly? And the correct answer is the second one here. The thresher, a green monster, cut through the wheat. Okay, and I'll look at positives in more detail in a moment as well. But you can see this is more of a half and half answer. Okay. But the second one there is the correct one. So if that's something you got incorrect, make sure you pay attention to what I cover later on in this feedback video. Number 9, which sentence uses the appositive correctly? And there's another 2 options here, okay? It was midnight, the witching hour, and all was still and quiet. That top one is the correct one there. Okay, and again, the reasons as to why I will cover in a bit more detail in a moment. And then finally, number 10, which subordinating conjunction would complete the sentence? We waited until they had finished, we waited something they had finished speaking. The correct answer there is until. We waited until they had finished speaking, okay? Because that's the subordinating conjunction which best suits that sentence. We waited because they had finished speaking doesn't quite work, and we waited since they had finished speaking doesn't quite work either. We waited until they had finished speaking is your correct answer there, and everybody got that correct, so well done. So moving back to the PowerPoint then, based on your answers to that quiz and the work that I've seen sent in, there were a couple of things that I just wanted to focus in on during this feedback lesson, okay? The first one is just to consider whether a sentence is a command or a statement. This was one of the questions, or 2 of the questions on the quiz, where there seemed to be a slight error of confusion as to which one was which. So I thought I'd just cover it here. A statement is a type of sentence that offers information and description. Okay, there's nothing special as such about it. It is sort of your basic bog standard sort of everyday sentence. So the grass is green. I'm offering information and description there. Okay, I'm telling you that the grass is green. I'm describing the grass as being green. The second one, my dog is called Rover. Once again, I'm offering information. You know, starting with a capital letter, ending with a full stop, just your general sentence. However, a command is a sentence that generally begins with a verb and ends with a full stop. Okay, you're ordering somebody to do something. So my examples there, stand up and fight. All right, my opening word is a verb there, stand. Second one, fight for what you believe in. Okay, once again beginning with that verb, okay, but it's a command. I'm telling you to do something when I use those sentences. So just maintaining that awareness between statement sentences and command sentences is the key here, okay? And then the second thing I wanted us to focus on was just appositives, all right? As those questions that I focused on a moment ago when looking at the quiz, there was some confusion there on the appositive questions as to which one was the appositive. So this is why I thought I would revisit that now, just to explain why the ones that were appositives were the correct answers. But first of all, let's define it. So an appositive is a noun or noun phrase that renames the subject or the main noun of a sentence. It allows you to add extra detail to your sentences, and it is normally placed next to the main noun and is separated out by commas generally. All right, so let's take this simple sentence as an example here, my statement sentence. My mum works at the shop. Okay, yeah, you understand you've got your subject, mum, all right, verb, works at the shop, object. Okay, but if I wanted to add a bit more information, this is where I could use an appositive phrase, especially if I wanted to give a bit more information about my mum, as an example. So I could change a sentence to include an appositive phrase, so it looks a bit like this. My mum, who is called Jackie, works at the shop. There I've used an appositive phrase to rename the noun because my mum is also Jackie. Okay, so they're both nouns refer to the same subject. All right, but this phrase is always encased in commas, or you're adding additional information. So it's to separate it out from the main clause, which are the parts before and after this phrase in the middle. Okay, and I say that's the key with appositives. They're generally rename the noun. They're always generally encased by commas, and I say it just provides additional information. And on the note of appositives, this is where I just wanted to include some exemplar work. I won't say whose work this is, but out of all the work that I was sent, and I picked this one because I liked the way that appositives were included in this person's sentences. So this was the last task on the PowerPoint from Monday, okay, where you were tasked with including appositive phrases within sentences. Okay, so let's look through these ones here. We've got the spider with 8 hairy legs scurried across the floor. All right, so this both the spider and the thing with 8 hairy legs, okay, are referring to the same subject. They're the same thing. All right, so an excellent use of a positive there. Number 2, the teacher with square glasses stood in front of the class. All right, perfectly punctuated as well with a comma on either side, because again, we're adding additional information. Okay, here we're noting that the teacher has square glasses, and also the teacher and the person with square glasses are the same person. So you're renaming the noun there. Number 3, to a point, a rainy, horrible place is on the Rame Peninsula. Okay, so in this instance, to a point and a rainy, horrible place both refer to the same subject. Okay, they're both describing a place. Okay, and again, commas there in the correct places to show that you're adding in additional information with it being an appositive phrase. Okay, so on the whole, appositive is really, really useful in any form of writing, just to add additional information, okay, to allow you to expand upon whatever it is that you're discussing or writing about. That is all for this feedback video for this week. Well done for all the work you've been submitting. You know, do keep up the good work. Okay, I've really been impressed by the standard of work that is coming in. Okay, those quizzes like you did on Monday are going to start becoming more common, so I would appreciate it if you could all give that a go if you can access it. If you've got any troubles, do get in touch. Either leave me a message on Show My Homework or send me an email via your college email, up to you. But otherwise, let me know if you need any help. Okay, and take care, and your next feedback video will be up next week.